expensive looking thing.
Very cheap.
Is it?
It wasn't too much.
Well, it depends
Is it a
on what-
camcorder?
Yes.
No?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's a,
But it has a,
it's a little DVD disc.
Really?
Is it recording right now?
Is it?
No.
Yeah, it is right
Oh,
now.
it is? You have it just on?
It's
Yeah.
recording right now.
But don't cut off people's heads, Michael. You don't be
Am I cutting off her head, I
depressed.
think?
Oh,
Okay.
It's so,
jeez.
you know-
Sometimes, yeah, I do this, and then
And
I
you're
look at it afterwards, and all I got is the
Yeah, that
body.
is certainly
I could
good
do it right
sex
now.
sounds that
Okay,
way.
oh
A
God.
friend of mine.
What?
um,
Sex?
Yeah.
well, I
Or
don't
just
know
like,
about that, but a friend of mine was
Who's the guy
asked
that-
in desperation if he'd come and take some photographs of his friend's wedding because the photographer
You're
had
wearing
let
a
them
little
down.
wrong.
So he turned up just as an amateur and
Womble.
took photographs just for every one of them and either cut off heads or slice them down the middle. This was their wedding photographs.
Oh God.
It's an absolute fiasco.
Oh my God, that's a good way of remembering your wedding, huh? Michael and I, we just went to the Justice of the Peace, you know, at the courthouse and got married.
A little while
That's
ago. About 8 years
We
ago. huh?
married on a double overdraft, and I was wearing gym shoes, and that, and all the senior fellow staff was sort of saying, "He's wearing bumpers."
Kids, that was.
Do you want to do it? Here.
Especially when you're holding it that way.
So that was your wedding.
Well, there's as I
We
say,
had it in the church because Lawrence is religious,
but
but it wasn't a fancy one. We didn't have any proper.
I was wearing just much as I am now, I suppose.
My parents were rather shocked.
How about you? Were you wearing a gown?
No.
My sister's like, well, I like the guy, but I didn't know you were going to marry him.
So it was all right being together 18 years. It
But
was,
she said it'd be all right to be together for the rest of our lives, but not to marry.
well, I don't see that that's any more commitment than not marrying, is it?
I
Elka,
kept,
what do you
I kept
think?
my name. I kept my maiden name. I didn't change anything.
So was she shocked that you were being so conventional?
Yeah, I think so. She told me now. She was very upset that I did that and went against her will. But I'm like,
Is
my
she
own-
unconventional then?
I guess so. I mean, it's just a,
Was that your mother?
no, my
And
sister. My mother's always been against us being together because you're way older than me. But my mom, she's, you know, old-fashioned lady. Oh well, you know, she's Irish. You know, this Irish woman, and she thought that older men should never go after younger women. I went in with me,
I
Michael.
was full of that because, generally speaking, Irish men don't, or didn't when I was young in Ireland, didn't marry till they were in their 60s because they didn't inherit the farm till they were in their 60s, and they were marrying girls straight out of school.
Wow.
See?
Really?
Well, they used to have these dances, didn't they?
They still do.
Especially young girls would go to the dances almost like cattle markets. To be
A bunch of
picked
old
out
guys.
for-
Oh,
the
so they
old
do the special
farmers.
dances just to...
This-
Oh, really?
It's
farmers
a special
and
village in near the Barron in
She tell your mother that. She's Irish too, so.
But
She
she,
doesn't know much
but
about
when
her
you say
heritage, does
she's
she?
Irish,
She doesn't know
she's
much about her.
come from Ireland, has she?
No, have to have a big role in running an organization. I never thought I would want that responsibility. But not just Michael encouraged me, I had my
And many
friends
other people.
encourage me, my girlfriends that also were very well educated and saying, Gina, it doesn't matter, you can do it as long as you know the program, which I knew because I ran it in the background. I was the services coordinator. And I already knew what was, you know, what you needed to do. And I was tired of the bosses, of these executives that they had, that was always trying to get rid of me because I, you know, I was well liked and I didn't play the game. Yeah, it was very threatening. So I ran for the position, and my coworker said, "How about if we run together? So then we both can share the responsibility." And we can have time off. Never an executive or anybody in the office could take more than a week or two off for a holiday. We get up to 4 weeks paid vacation.
So
And we couldn't take it all at once. Now we can. Because we have each other do it because I never thought I really wanted
the
to.
boss is on 24-hour call too when there's some kind of problem. So
it's 30 days off and 30 days on, which is really a good situation.
And it's salary paid, and we're not getting paid enough for us all together. You're absolutely right.
And this is your sister, you say?
Yeah.
Lisa?
That was just in
Lovely.
December together.
They even allowed me to be part of the picture too.
Yeah, they did a big family picture. If we had all the Sassos there, it'd be like, shh.
How many of you were there then?
It was all 6 of us siblings, and then we had 3 brother-in-laws,
And the wives of some of the grandkids.
and then we had the nieces and nephews. So we had one nephew with his wife and child, so I had a great nephew, and then we had 2 nieces of 2 of my siblings and my sisters. There's 5.
Kathy, the oldest daughter, who was 31, she, well, I guess it was a little excuse, but in the anti-war movement, they brought in heroin to sort of pacify us. But rather than the adults, like me getting into heroin, it was the children. And so they hooked in hundreds of the children
I see.
in the Bay Area. And so then she sort of lived
Who
through
brought in?
The
You're talking about
the police or the
CIA.
FBI.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, we had it mainly only with just with dope, but they could then prosecute you.
And then,
Heroin is more with the minors.
yeah.
Yeah, it somehow got hooked on the wrong people, right?
And so then,
Just sad.
so she sort of up and down with that drug for a long time, and had a child, and somehow or another she was going to school and doing really well in school, and people tend to, when they do, you know, it's the end of the semester or whatever, they tend to party their drug, and so she got back into it there, but it was fentanyl, and which is a derivative or a designer drug, which is now used in hospitals. It's a great painkiller.
It's a derivative
Yeah,
of heroin.
of heroin, and
And
but
she-
maybe 5,000 times as strong. So she didn't quite know what she had, and she was a little wrecked. There had been ODs before, and but you know and then she escaped from just a lot of she escaped from the hospital or left the hospital, and they what they tend to do, what I heard they tend to do is they give her a double dose of the antidote, but it was fentanyl, and it rubbed off, and she died in her sleep. Which that child, I've got to go look up that child. Now that child's about 22, 23.
We're talking about the
Oh,
grandchild.
you've lost touch.
Well, the guy was an extreme asshole. So he ran off. I mean,
He was
He
totally
ran off with the child.
Yeah, he wouldn't let me be. He used excuses why I couldn't be part of it, but it was basically he was still into, and still is now. I understand a coke dealer, big coke dealer.
Really?
Really? My God, I thought he was
happened?
against drugs.
Oh no, not
He
George.
should be again, shouldn't he?
So-
And has he got another woman that
Oh yeah,
is the substitute
exactly. Looks
mother?
like my daughter. too.
Really?
Uh-huh.
That's what we hear.
Yeah.
So perhaps she's reasonably.
Oh, she's a
stable
nice
and
person.
happy?
She's
How long
really.
ago was this?
Oh, how long ago was this? Am I going? 88.
That was. It's going on 19 years now.
So she's.
Since I came
Wait a second, I thought it'd be,
19 years in June 3rd.
So the child is into her 20s, early
Yeah,
20s.
he is. Yeah, he's
oh, I thought she died in 88.
Matthew. Pardon?
I thought your daughter passed in 88.
So figure it out. 19 years.
Right, and then, oh yeah, okay, yeah. I'm sorry. What I was thinking.
And you want to meet up with her again. I wonder if she wonders about you.
Oh, it's your grandson, so.
Yeah, it's a male child. Yeah.
Oh, right. Grandson, is it? Yeah.
Well, I don't think that he's had a lot of opportunities to even know too much. I did go around the first few years to the birthday parties, but it was such an uptight scene that,
You just
and it
gave
made
up
me
on her.
feel so bad that you tend
But it's
to
hardly your fault. None of it.
You probably tend to.
not want to experience it.
Of course. Well, that was the aim, wasn't
Hardly
it?
my fault.
Deliberately stopping you.
Well, the parents,
Well, she'll be old enough to choose to come and find you anyway, won't she?
Yeah, he's-
Sorry, he.
For sure, it was more her mother's fault than any of it, because she, I mean,
So he resents you for being the father of the mother who killed herself and rejected her own child in a way by dying.
the drugs, when they, I mean, when I was coming over here before, when I first came here, I was alcoholic in 1964.
Oh, right, yeah.
From 13 or 13 when my father died, which I got the death certificate right here. The neighbor said, "Oh, come on over, I'll help you out," and had my first drink and. We were binge drinkers from then on.
Right.
But I just went to my
Well, it was a
50-year
bad time for you to start in a way, wasn't it? Because it was
yeah.
deadening pain and.
Oh yeah, sure, it felt so nice.
Yeah.
Oh, God. But anyway, even in my high school, I just went to my 50-year anniversary of the high school, and we all did the same thing. We all got hooked into alcohol at 14 years
Really?
old. I was amazed. I didn't really realize it was everybody. And
It's more difficult to get off than heroin.
yeah. Well, I got off when I came here in '64, the first time I came here, and there was, at that time, hash was a major thing
yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
And everybody was into hash. And I can remember I was on the Atlantic coast there, around between the San Sebastian and Berwitz. And I was with these guys, and it was the first 3 days that I had not drunk.
But you had dope instead.
Yeah, right. Good hash. It was really good. Super
Well, it's
hash.
easier to come off, isn't it?
When you have another substitute. But then I sort of been hooked into that, or marijuana since then, on and on.
I've never found it very effective.
What, hash?
I'm not interested in it. I mean, I did smoke. No, what I'm saying is I smoke, but I don't know
Knowing the real anarchism.
what it
Whatever.
means.
So, as far as we're concerned, we are the only
9th of April. Oh, today's the